And your friends and train for Shemwa. Yasem tia se koku kon. And he said, Oman Penny Dada John Dramani Mahama, I shall see to talk and sembi eba Ghana yago pramaswa ya ya yebeswa my Ghana kubun fi yasi. Talk about Kwame Nkrumah. Talk about all the military leaders who came in the annals of Ghanaian politics. Talk about them. Have you even seen any of them coming in the front page of any other newspaper? Oh, Yasma Fanena, Nidia Tua Tinchecha, Ye Bonu Dimbone, Bogana Dimbone, apart from the former president. Kamia say any other time, Bianwa or Bekasano, it's an international embarrassment to this country. You know, the foreign investors who are outside will be watching this country and a former president speaking about a system that made him the president, former president, caretaker president, minister, deputy minister to whatnot. And the same president turned around and said, the electoral process, it means tofu ballot papers. Can you imagine a former president talking like this just because he wanted to be president for 4 years? He went to the Supreme Court with the party members. What was the outcome of the case? We all saw it. The media men, you were out there. You saw what happened. Isn't it interesting to note that during the election petition hearing, Mr. Mahama and his witnesses were asked several times by the noble judges at the Supreme Court to produce their own collated results, and they were found wanting? Weren't you in this country, media men? Mr. Mahama couldn't even produce a distinct figure from the pink sheet in order to challenge what was declared by the Electoral Commission, and yet he continued spouting electoral fraud. Isn't it interesting? One would have thought that this embarrassment, or the embarrassment by their General Secretary, General Mosquito Siodun Ketia, who suffered in the hands of the EC lawyers in the full glare of the general public in the national television with regard to the strict proof that he was subjected to will change the minds of the NDC, or to change the minds of, or the utterances of the former president. But Mr. Mahama is still alleging and touting for voter fraud that happened in the 2020 elections. Strangely, he couldn't allege this when he was put before court, but continued to be at talks and no proofs, and yet we are told to swallow this unfounded allegation or conspiracy theory, or what we call squealer propaganda by the former president. Again, if Mr. Mahama claims the presence of the military made the EC to declare the false results, why didn't he tender this evidence when he had the chance to go to court and present this to the noble judges at the Supreme Court? To the extent that the Supreme Court described Mr. Mahama's witnesses, it was so ridiculous that the Supreme Court judges, the noble judges, described his witnesses, including Johnson Asiedun Ketia, Joe Numensa, as fanciful witnesses. When a noble judge describes you as fanciful witness, you are here, you are journalists, you're supposed to know what that means. Very ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, while some would speak angrily of this movement as being overly critical of the former president, Ghanaians do not deserve Mr. Mahama to be the former president of the Republic of Ghana, because of his utterances and certain things that come out that's derailing our democratic process in this country. Very, very clear. We can state without any scintilla of doubt that the greatest calamity that has ever befallen this country of ours, the great country of Kwame Nkrumah, the great country of Akufo-Addo, J. Kufuor, Professor Mills, Jerry John Rawlings, occupying the highest office of the land, is one of the greatest calamities that has befallen the country is Mr. Mahama. Why are we saying that? No former president is worth the office that he is occupying by throwing dust at the system that made him President Wealth, the office, once again, will chart the course of Mahama as he's charting now. As a matter of fact, Mr. Mahama is showing gross incompetence. Even in opposition, his utterances and baseless rants highlight the weakness in our democracy and bring into contempt the office that he has once occupied. The office that made him, the country that made him when he was an assemblyman, the country that made him as a deputy minister, the caretaker president to the president and the former president. He's tarnishing that system, the electoral process that made him. And it's so sad for this country. We are fully aware that this whole act that the former president is going around doing is for his own selfish parochial interest, not for any other ordinary Ghanaian. But one would have been asking the question, you've been through all these leadership positions in this country. What are you looking for? Is it because of 4 years, your utterances are that to turn this country democracy upside down? In fact, the former president of the NDC, former President Jerry John Rawlings, may his soul rest in peace, saw through Mahama's antics in 2020 and blew his lid of Agenda 2024. It has always been about Mahama and his 2024 comeback. I'm quoting the former president. The strategies are all about 2024 and how he can come back to power and destroy his own NDC party. Mr. Mahama is just clutching on the straws and hoping to create a religion of conspiracy to undermine our democracy, ideals, and to challenge his political parochial interest. He needs to be told in plain language that touting these unfounded claims of electoral frauds without willingly to follow the constitutional process is as horrible as Adolf Hitler's propaganda stance, or is as barbaric as Idi Amin's modus operandi of propaganda, or whatever you can call it, or ideology. Ladies and gentlemen, it is said that the leopard cannot change its spots, nor can the tiger change its strips. But it is time for us as a country to tell Mahama or the former president to pack it in. Ghana is above his rhetorics. Ghana is above his taunting and rants, and get ready for his own internal politics that is facing him, destroying the NDC beyond repairs. And then what is awaiting him is a tsunami that is about to sweep him, for him to rewrite his own political obituary. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the media.